And I am live, and we say hello to the elephant in the room. Ironically, starting off by addressing the elephant in the room because we can't do anything right. Speaking of not doing anything right, it was just yesterday on this very channel that I said, folks, I know that I have this Mork Borg solo playthrough outstanding, but the heart wants what it wants. We got to go where we got to go. We got to do what we got to do. This, whether or not we can mix and match Troika characters in fighting fantasy game books from 1984 is a pressing concern that we just have to figure out. And this Mork Borg debacle, abortion, quagmire, that's an actual word, kids. You can look it up. Giggity, indeed. Yes. But the funny thing is, I say last night, we got to leave that stuff behind, the Mork Borg thing. We just got to go and we got to figure out what's happening with Troika in Fighting Fantasy. And we'll get to Mork Borg when we get to it. If I'm lying, I'm dying. If I'm lying, I'm dying. And this has got to be a brief video because I only have a little bit of time for you guys and gals and everybody else before I have to disappear like a mystery in the night on this auspicious date, 11/22/2022. Can't do anything right. Casey makes the call, points to, outfield behind the third base, whatever. Goes completely opposite direction, right? I say last night that we have to leave Mork Borg on the side and we're going to do this fighting fantasy thing. The very next day, what do? True to form. If I say I'm going to do something, I don't do it. Apparently, if I say that I'm not going to do something, I do it because I sit down today in my independent time, having done the work that I needed to do in the office. I sat down for an allotted period of free gaming time. And what do I find myself pulling out of the book bag? And what do I find myself project wise and assigning myself to do? The fucking Mork Borg solo playthrough. If I'm lying, I'm dying. And the next thing that was on the assignment was we are still in our first dungeon, right? Because I had powered through and basically we had figured out that we're not doing overland hex crawls and figuring out, fishing expeditions outside of Lake, Oneida, you know what I mean, as friggin', Mike Pike, freezes his balls off, while playing, fucking Cascading Rifts of Doom in the fucking Nether Sphere. We just have to fucking move on with our lives. We're gonna resolve this journey through life in Mork Borg in dungeons, snapshots of life. But we knew that, the cliche 5-room dungeons were going to. I had done everything except the final boss battle. So I haven't done the boss battle, but we've done the preparatory work. I pulled another card, and this is where it gets, whether you, to the degree that you care, to the degree that you're invested, to the degree that you allow yourself to be mystified by the mysteries and the mysterious. I pulled a card for this dungeon as we were going into it, was the Two of Cups. And we've talked about this in the past, about this kind of weird system I was doing for this kind of weird solo role playing oracle through tarot cards that's beyond kind of a shaky system to utilize. I'm just kind of really for insight before we went into this room with this monster, and before we generated the monster according to this unique monster generating rules called the monster approaches in this supplementary material called Ferritory, put out by the douchebag kids. I don't care if you're from a fucking foreign country. It's not of the appropriate countries I'm required to respect the denizens of. Or at least certain native denizens of. We all know it's true, and I don't care. Q Stockholm cartel. Watch out, the Stockholm cartel. Ooh, they're from Stockholm. Watch out. Now, I guarantee there's badasses. I guarantee there's simple badasses from Stockholm that can kick my ass, but all the same. Not these guys. Not the Stockholm cartel guys. I guarantee the Stockholm cartel call themselves the Stockholm cartel until like actual Stockholm cartel. Even Stockholm cartel people are like Stockholm cartel until like they get to the States. You know what I mean? And then it's just like we're from Stockholm. Period at the end of the sentence. No front, right? No front. Anyway, inside the front cover, the monster approaches. So we generated our monster, and I looked at pulling a tarot card, contemplating before we generated the monster according to those rules, and before we generated the room that monster was in. We say hello to Tim Frey. Gold coin onto and gold medal onto the elephant in the room for live chat participation. Put it in your jar of wonder. I mean, at this point, you're going to be like that one person that can cash in at the, I don't know if you have in your neck of the woods what would be the equivalent of the boardwalk, where like if you actually played those like coin slot machines and stuff where you could actually win the tokens and the tickets to like actually cash them in and like get those prizes, like whatever, but you could be the one person that could actually cash it in and get like the like wood laminate clock of Elvis. You know what I mean? I don't know, like some crazy shit. But Tim Frey, you get the silver medal added to your collection. I don't know if people are keeping score at home. I hope that'd be crazy if people are keeping score at home. It'd be crazy if people keep a score at home. It'd be crazy if like at the end of your lifetime, like you do get like your data points. Or if we do get like if we like end up playing our cards right and surviving the game long enough. Truth seekers with time on his hand. Just all right. Listen, hey, let me put you to sleep, baby. Let me put you to sleep. ASMR seems like truth seekers. You know how it goes, baby. Hey, listen, we're all out here. I'm out here in RPG land testing. I'll give you the reports. I'll tell you how my analytics go. You know what I mean? What people don't know is while I'm out here wasting my time in RPG land, Stephen Cambion is like has this other channel out building those like model RC planes, testing the waters out there. We're all jiving, we're all hustling, we're all out here. You know what I mean? The corpse of Linda Moulton Howe, we can only, you know what I mean? It will only bear so much fruit. You know what I'm saying? Metaphorically speaking. Kidding, humor. Come on. I kid because I loathe. That's my, you like that? I think that I made that up. That's obviously not something I made up. There you go. Here we go. Highlight this. True seekers. No, I build model rockets, dirigibles, blimps, drones, and planes. Not planes. And you know what he's just confessed to? Faking his own evidence. Jacques Hughes. Shots fired. On the RPG channel under the cover of night. Oh, yo, I gotta keep an eye on the time and I gotta get out of here, folks. So I gotta tell you what I did. I can't bullshit with Stephen Cambion all day long. Truth Seekers, check it out. Check it out on YouTube if you want to. Hey, listen, know what the bullshitters are bullshitting about. And of course, the bullshitters are Stephen Cambion over Truth Seekers. Tell you no lie. Listen, yo, so I pulled the tarot card and I pulled the 7 of Cups. And if you're into the mysteries and you listen, it is what it is. And I don't say that there's a transcendental, mysterious, ephemeral force. I don't say that there isn't. I don't say that I know. I don't say that I don't know. I just say the tarot cards are something that people play with and experiment with and do things with. And I say that it's funny that I pulled that 7 of Cups with its classic image of a wizard or an individual being beguiled by 7 options, 7 mysterious choices. I was looking at the classic Rider-Waite deck image. The reason I go like this is because the reason I'm setting this up is that when rolling for the random stats of this boss monster that we'll be encountering, I rolled for a characteristic of it having this power of multiplicity, multiplying, that whenever it suffers but 1 point of damage, it will essentially split, multiplying, generating a copy of itself with 1/2 the hit points, 1/2 the morale score, and one smaller die value as far as its attack value is concerned, and its armor value is concerned. So that synchronicity, though, listen, clearly explainable by chance, clearly attributable by chance, is still an odd little gaming moment to experience that I then share with you as I say hello to Keats. Oh, and I say hello to Truth as I recognize Truth Seekers. I should have given you a bronze medal for your participation in the live chat. Keats, I say to you, I have no medal for you, having given out all the medals, but I do say honorable mention onto you and thank you for your participation in the live chat in this brief video, where I'm just basically telling everybody that while I have not engaged this monster, I can tell you that we have generated the master beast. And in generating the master beast and in looking at this 7 of Cups for this master beast in influence of this 2 of Cups that we had for the entire master dungeon, and in looking at this sacrificial altar that I had seen at the beginning, this very beginning of the dungeon, that in a room that before I even knew that it would have a sacrificial altar in it, I actually drew as a kind of shape of an upside down cross. Right behind it, right after it, this room was generated randomly as a flooded room. And now we see this monster, this boss, finally in this simple little, utterly silent but debris filled black room all the way in the back, this small, secluded room. And I just all of a sudden have this natural story of this kind of beast being placated here, this room having been flooded out to kind of keep it there. We generated kind of using the Mork Borg materials and materials that were available in the Mork Borg the Mork Borg book that I have. Boo 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 da 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 da. Where am I? Oh, I want to share. Oh, no. Oh, I gotta do this. I have to do this to do that. Share. Yeah. Um, here's the Mork Borg bare bones edition that you can get for free from their website. If you go to search Mork Borg on Google, you go to the guy. I diss them all the time. God bless those bastards, the Stockholm Cartel or whatever they're called, because they gave their shit away for free. The bare bones edition, you don't get the art, you don't get that craziness. But some say what you get in return is an actual book you can read. And here it is. It's the whole book. And I used this to generate the details of the room, and as far as it being just simply utterly silent and being debris filled. But let me do this. I'm gonna stop sharing. Go back here. And simply this is just simply here's the update. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to just simply resolve the fight, and find out what special item. We know that there's going to be a special item for our guys, and at least a couple of scrolls in there for our guys. Obviously, this is a place of mystical power. We knew that because we got this positive card, the Two of Cups, when we were trying to figure out if this was going to be the place that they were looking for. We knew that they were looking for a place that would have, scrolls and magical items, that they would need to continue on their journey. So after we resolve this dungeon, the next thing that's going to happen is the choice is going to be put to Our Lady Malacia, about what the next step is going to be, about where, they're going to go, about whether or not she's going to, follow the mad hermit, Schmick and his, crazy, religious, message and voyage to go deeper into past the land of the unfortunate dead, that graveyard, into Bergen Crypt, and basically into the mouth of the basilisk seems to be his approach. And he's got the warrior, Yaska, at his, kind of, I think, in his enthrall, and the occult herb master, and the heretical priest, want none of that. They want to go and hide out in what is it, in the realm of the Shadow King, and near Graventosk, I think it's called, in the north, where they think it's best to, I guess, lay in the land, wait out the apocalypse, I guess, in shelter. I think the heretical priest, Father, Don, has, designs to either marry into some sort of weird family bloodline, royal bloodline that already exists there, and or take over some land, or just, we don't know what. But people are going to, the next step of the journey is going to be moving the next step of the journey, and whether or not this playthrough gets put on the shelf for a week or 2 weeks or a month or whatever, we come back to it whenever, as people who actually role play or don't actually role play, we say hello to Oswald Spangler as well. We know this: some of these games actually get resolved, and some of these save files, whether they're save files in these old school senses of these paper and pencil save files, or whether they're these digital save files on these computers or on these hard drives or on these little diskettes for our consoles, sometimes just remain and sometimes outlive us, or sometimes just disappear into the metaphorical dustbins. Maybe some perchance to be found by some other individual, or to be redeemed by some other individual and to be played again, or perchance never to be played again. An Air of the Mystical. I shared with you the Seven of Cups. I really must be going. I'm really at the edge of my definable parameters, but let's do this. Moving as fast as I can. Oswald Spangler says, would be a good day for me to play a JFK assassination tabletop RPG inside if I were a turbo nerd like CW. Am I missing the significance of the date? I thought that was is it the anniversary today? Oswald Spangler, did he cheese level 420 in herbalism? I didn't even, there you go. The Middle Bubble Ritual. There you go. Absolutely. No, listen, I have no problem missing court dates. I don't want to miss family obligations. Yo, this is so crazy. This is the card we drew yesterday. If I'm lying, I'm dying. You can check the record. If we drew this card yesterday, it's speeding me along. Breakthrough. See yesterday. We did this card yesterday. If I'm lying, I'm dying. You can see yesterday. Refer to yesterday's reading. If I'm lying, I'm dying. We mentioned this. It's so crazy because today's got great numbers, 11/22/2022. And I love the number 8. I love the number 11. I love the number 22. And we always talk about how the number, it's funny that I love the number 8 and I love the number 11 because in a lot of tarot decks, the cards that sit at 8 and the cards that sit at 11 will sometimes switch places. So it's kind of kooky that way. So there you go. We'll leave it at that. We'll just say breakthrough. Breakthrough is just honor the message, honor the simple statement. Breakthrough is honor the fact that we gotta look at the time, know that we gotta go, and say the word is the message. We keep it simple, stupid. Okay? Don't overthink it. Breakthrough. Go for it. Do it. Do what you got to do. Fulfill your obligations. Check it off your list. Feel a little bit better about yourself. Chant every day if you're looking for a form of meditation to do. Read a spiritual text every day if you're looking for something to do. Even if you're not a believer, give you some insight into what people believe. Why not? Some insight into what people believe. Could do worse. Could do worse. Okay? I love you. I love you. I love you. If nobody told you they loved you today, somebody just did. That somebody is me. Make of that what you will. Okay? And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace until then. Peace until then.